But look, speaking of Odd Lady C, I've been really wanting to speak to you about this smear campaign, which has been going on. I mean, I know, and I was watching.
This just in. Lady Colin Campbell is taking a stand against a massive smear campaign, and she's ready to take it to court. Meghan Markle's supporters are accused of sabotaging Lady C's fundraiser for Thomas Markle. But that's just the beginning.
Your show, I think it was yesterday, and you raised what the Sussex Squad have done to me in the past. So you know that I know that they are evil and they will stop at nothing to destroy people who tell the truth about their heroes. But this one is particularly annoying to me because you did a great thing. You arranged a fundraiser for Thomas Markle because he had hit this very significant birthday and his health is not good. We are both very fond of the Markle family. We know they're good people who've been treated terribly. And this was just to allow Thomas to live a bit more of a comfortable life and to have the correct health treatment that he needed. But people have used this to spread all sorts of horrible rumors about the Markle family, about yourself, about me, claiming that lies are being told, and they're sophisticated in some ways in terms of what they do, because I believe they actually set up a fake GoFundMe website to try and convince people that you were still continuing your fundraising campaign when in fact it had long been over. So can we just clarify what is going on? And can we also clarify that all of these ludicrous suggestions that Thomas Markle and Samantha Markle and Thomas Markle Jr. are in some way lying? I mean, people are even trying to say, see these photos of Thomas with his daughter. Some people are now trying to say, Lady C, that these photos aren't real. I mean, it's just so offensive. But what's going on from your point of view?
Is there something darker at play? Let's get into it. Before we dive deep, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update on the latest royal bombshells. Lady Colin Campbell organised a fundraiser to help Thomas Markle with his medical expenses. Over £40,000 was raised from royal supporters who believe Meghan abandoned her father.
Well, first of all, Dan, I do not condescend to acknowledge every bit of feces that is on the roadside as I'm driving by in my car.
Nor should you.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is I believe in free speech.
Yes.
So as long as people are giving a valid opinion based upon someone else's conduct, they're perfectly at liberty to say whatever they think or feel. A third thing where I'm concerned is I am aware that one or two of the YouTube people have been trying to target me and saying all sorts of seriously defamatory things, which quite frankly I couldn't be bothered with because they're so pathetic and ridiculous that I wouldn't be wasting my time on. I mean, they starve them of oxygen and they will disappear sooner rather than later. So there's that element of it. But what is more concerning about this is that it's obviously a concerted and very well executed scheme to have entrapped me and lied about me. And I mean, in much the same way that they used your crazy boyfriend's existence to destroy or try to destroy your career.
Yes, based on total lies, complete lies.
Yeah, and they were hoping that by making the accusations and getting the police involved, it cost you your jobs with both GB News and the Mail.
Yep, which it did.
I thought they both behaved appallingly, but that's something else again.
Thank you.
Well, of course, I'm not in that situation. So they had to be more, I have no vulnerabilities. So what they have done is they have actually concocted a total fraud. They have perpetrated a fraud upon the public, but they have done it through GoFundMe. So I am now getting information from GoFundMe, who, it has to be said, are dumb enough to think that they can blow me off with assurances and not provide the information that I require, and which by law they are obliged to provide me with. I think it's called, is it a GDPN or GDPR?
GDPR, yes.
Well, under the GDPR rules, they have to provide me with information that I require from them. That account had been closed. Therefore, the reopened account was a fraud. I didn't open it. I didn't authorize it to be opened. I had no contract with GoFundMe as a result of them reopening that account. Well, not reopening, because it
was a different one. Yeah, exactly.
But in fact, they created a new account because the old one was shut without my knowledge, consent, or approval. That is not only highly defamatory, that is fraud.
Yes.
That is misrepresentation. That is impersonation. They are in huge trouble, not only with their European side, because it's Irish law that governs their activities over here. So it's not only with Irish law and European Union law.
But instead of praise, Lady C found herself under attack by Meghan's online army. Instead of simply helping an elderly man in need, this fundraiser turned into a battlefield. But why? Who was really behind this? Well, hold on, because things get even messier. A fake GoFundMe page appeared, impersonating Lady C's fundraiser. Donors were tricked into thinking the real campaign was still active.
Which requires that they provide me with the information I demand, and I'm not asking for favors. This is what I'm entitled to, and they're bloody well going to provide it. Otherwise, I'll see them in court. And they are resisting providing me with it at the moment, and thinking that they can soft-spoke me. They don't realize who they're dealing with, but then they wouldn't be the first idiot who didn't realize what they were dealing with. Alison Phillips and Eve Pollard lost their job as editors of the Daily Mirror and the Sunday Express when I hauled their backsides into a court. And which I will do with GoFundMe.
Do not lie about us. I mean, you know, I've had very similar experiences where I've received apologies and damages from the Daily Mirror and the Guardian because these people are stupid enough to follow up the lies for the Sussex Squad. And I can't say anything about this case yet, Lady C, but let me just say the Sussex Squad are criminals. Not all of them. I'm not trying to say all of them, but there are criminals operating within the Sussex Squad, and all of that is going to emerge in the next few weeks.
But these criminals are functioning with the knowledge, consent, and approval of Harry and Meghan.
Yes.
Which is outrageous.
Who have never, can we just clarify, who have never once tried to distance themselves from the Sussex Squad or say that the Sussex Squad shouldn't break the law or attack people or spread lies. I mean, it's astonishing, but
they have supported them.
Yeah.
They have.
Well, Christopher Boozy was on the TV series. And
there is no doubt in my mind who is behind this and why. But you see, they were dumb enough to think they could set up this fake account in my name, run a few donations through it. I would know nothing about it, which I didn't. Why would I know anything about it? I had nothing to do with it. And that then they would tip off the press and the
Yes.
press would run the story saying, "Oh, Lady Colin Campbell, blah 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 blah."
Yes.
And
This
but
is
the
where
press
we.
would-
Well, I was just gonna say this is where we get to the Daily Mail. And before you go on, what I want to do is show you a woman called Liz Hartley. Now, she's the boss of legal at the Daily Mail, someone that we have both had entanglements with. And Lady C, you have gone viral this week because you released on your own YouTube channel, which I always say that everyone must subscribe to, and I will put the link in the show notes below because it is an absolute must follow. But you actually play the call that you make to Liz Hartley at the Daily Mail. I'm going to play quite a lot of it, Lady C, if that's okay. Probably the whole thing, because I just want everyone to hear it. And then I'll get you to react off the bat.
Lady C claims this was a deliberate setup to discredit her. She says it was a coordinated attack to ruin her credibility. And now she's taking legal action. But who exactly is responsible? We're getting closer to the truth. If you're still watching, hit that like button. It really helps.
Well, I'm not asking for anything. I'm very clear about when people are trying to destroy or take advantage of, well, let's put it, when people are trying to abuse me, I am just going to lay down the reality. And I'm not pussyfooting around. I'm not asking them for any favors. So I'm not begging them to do anything. I am commanding them to do it. And
if you're going to write this lie, you're going to see them in court.
Yeah. So, but I actually thought that girl Rebecca handled the whole thing very well.
She did.
I thought she was very good. And I think she deserves to be commended.
No, she did. But the question to me, Lady C, is why was this Martin Robinson, who is, by the way, one of the most senior reporters for the Daily Mail online, that's my understanding, why is he taking this absolute rubbish from the Sussex squad seriously?
Well, I'm actually, Dan, in some ways grateful.
Okay.
That he got in touch with David Samuel, my agent, because I wouldn't have known about any of this sort of acts. But as soon as I heard about it,
because you didn't even know the page was there.
No, I had ordered it, and again, I asked for it to be. I'm very polite and I'm very civilized, but really, when I'm giving an order, I may do it nicely. And I may be polite, but it's not a request. It's a command, And when I told them I wanted the GoFundMe shut down, they tried to drag it out. And I said to them, no, it's inelegant, and I want it shut down, and shut it down. And it was some difficulty to get them to shut it down, but I got them to shut it down. This was in August. This is now October. And I gather all of this has happened in the last 2 or so weeks. And I now have all sorts of people investigating all over the world about what's been going on.
Meghan's online supporters, known as the Sussex Squad, are accused of running smear campaigns. Investigations suggest many of these accounts are bots or paid trolls. Meghan and Harry have never distanced themselves from this group. Could it be that Meghan's carefully crafted public image is starting to crumble? And if you love royal controversies, make sure you're subscribed.
But I'm actually somewhat grateful to Martin. Is his name Robinson or Robinson?
Yes, Robinson, yeah.
Which one is it?
Robinson, yeah.
Robinson. So he phoned my agent because, of course, at the Associated Newspapers, they have stamped on my file, before you write anything about her, refer it to the legal department. They know they dare not write anything about me without referring me to the legal department. And I just phone up Liz when I have trouble. I mean, this has been going on long enough now that I know them and they know me, and they know I'm not joking. But it's obvious, because I then, after speaking to this nice young lady, Rebecca, I then actually thought, hang on a second, let me see. And I discovered that there were 2 new payments that had come in, I think, that day, one for £25, one for £10. And after I did some further investigation, while speaking to someone, another one came in for, I think, £5. And I told GoFundMe, why is this open? If you were told to shut it down, I want an explanation. And they have not actually been able to come up with an explanation that does not drop them in major soup. They are governed by United States law. United States law, I mean, they have committed a host of criminal as well as civil breaches of the law, because they have created a new account, which is a fake, stating that it's my account when it's not my account. And they had to have known it wasn't my account, because they know I didn't ask for it to be revived. And
Yes.
therefore, it's not an extension of the old account.
No, because they will have the email address of the person who set up the fake account, and it won't be your email address.
Lady C is demanding answers from GoFundMe and may take legal action for fraud. She has a history of winning court battles against the media. Lady C isn't someone who backs down. If she takes this fight to court, we could see behind the curtain of these smear campaigns. This isn't just about one fundraiser. It's about power and control. So what do you think? Is Lady C right to take this to court? Or is this just another media frenzy? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. See you in the next one.